How many times have you failed to pronounce words correctly? Probably a lot of times. You say the word and then it sounds weird and you just feel awkward. It's really hard to be good at pronunciation, especially when you have to learn these goddamn transcriptions. People like to read transcriptions and then memorize the pronunciation. You know how many words you need to memorize? Tens of thousands. And there are also all these different accents and insane amount of information. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by all of that. Do you want to know the simple answer to your problem? If you said yes, then let's see what are the best ways to learn and practice pronunciation. When I started, I had to learn English in school for 8 years. That's where I learned all the basics, and that's it. I spent 8 years learning only the basics. I couldn't speak, I couldn't read, and my pronunciation was awful. Because in school we do everything differently. In school you need to memorize new words, learn translations and transcriptions. Then you need to somehow remember these words in a conversation. And if you don't practice soon enough, you'll forget everything you've learned. It's like most of your effort goes to a trash can. But why it is so easy for the native speakers? Why they can speak English when they're only 5 years old? Actually, it's pretty simple. They learned English just like you learned your native language. You was born into this world and everyone is just saying random shit you don't understand. Then after some time of listening to them, your brain literally starts to connect dots. It connects one word to another and then it adds meaning to them. And before you know it, you can already say your first words and create simple sentences. After 2 or 3 years, you speak better than 90% of learners of your language. So it's all about doing everything like a native speaker. Learning to speak, write, understand, and pronounce like native does it. So what you should do to learn pronunciation? To learn pronunciation, you just need to listen more. Just as much as native speaker does it. Native speaker listens to his native language all day long for his entire life. So just surround yourself with English. I know you've probably heard that before because you're watching this video, but I'm talking about surrounding yourself completely. For example, my friend also learns English and he even pays money for English coach. But in his free time, he just watches YouTube shorts and TikTok. He spent maybe 2 years doing that, and no offense, but he still can't speak English. He wants to read books in English, but it's too hard for him. Guess why? And he would make a lot more progress reading books instead of watching YouTube shorts. I'm talking about English in his entire life, because books are meant to make your life better. For example, you read a book about discipline, and suddenly you become more disciplined. The same is with YouTube content. If you watch 2 hours long video about how to improve your discipline, guess what? You'll become more disciplined. But if you spend 2 hours on TikTok, you'll get nothing. So is it worth watching TikTok, coping and saying that you learn your English this way? And you know it's not hard to watch long videos. It'll actually be easy for you once you get used to them. Just try it for yourself. Find something to watch and just watch it for 10 minutes. I guarantee you that you'll find it interesting. You just need a little bit of willpower to watch it till the end. So where you can find long videos. When I just searched for how to do something or how to improve your diet, for example, I found a ton of videos from 10 minutes to 3 hours long. And then I just watched the videos that are longer than 20 minutes. That's it, just search for something interesting and long. The more you watch, the better your pronunciation and other skills will become. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is how to practice your pronunciation. So after you watched a bunch of videos in English, you will start to develop that little voice inside of your head that's going to tell you how to properly pronounce words. The more you listen to English speech, the better this voice becomes. But still it needs to be calibrated. Even if you spend all day watching YouTube in English, you wouldn't have the perfect pronunciation. Because you've been just listening, you also need to practice your pronunciation. So the best way to do it is reading aloud. Just open a book, start reading it, and say every word out loud. That's basically all you have to do. But for many people, it would be hard to start. If you didn't read books before or you have struggles doing that, you can watch my video about it. But maybe you just think that, oh, my pronunciation is gonna sound awful while I read. Well, you gotta start somewhere. When I started reading out loud, I was stuttering all the time. And I was so fucking slow. It felt like torture to read books out loud. But after 1 hour of doing it, I was reading a lot faster. So don't be scared to start, because you need to start somewhere. And when you make a mistake, be glad that you made that mistake, because that's how you learn how to pronounce words. You just say that word a couple of times until it sounds better, and then you'll be less likely to make the same mistake again. I make a lot of mistakes myself. My videos are far from being good, and I'm trying to make them better. It takes me 5 tries to record just one sentence. It takes me 5 tries to record just one sentence. It takes me at least 5 tries to record just one sentence. I'm trying to make less mistakes while speaking to you, so you know we're all in the same journey. So the last thing that can help you is music. Just listen to music and sing along. If it's hard to understand, just find the lyrics of the song. And after a couple of weeks, you're gonna learn a bunch of songs in English. How cool is that?